AJ, are you excited about Halloween? Are you excited about October being right around the corner? It's only about a week away. It's only about It's so exciting.
Halloween. Everybody make a scene. Halloween, 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 Halloween. I'm excited, man. It's definitely fall already. You know, the 22nd was the official day of the first day of autumn, I think, and it like immediately, like a switch flipped in the sky.
I like when
and, like,
switches flip.
Shit got super cold all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And yeah, summer is over. It is time.
Yeah.
It's almost time.
Thank
I can't
God.
wait.
Thank
Can't
God.
wait till next month. I know. I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Right, let's
I'm
do
ready.
this.
You know what else I'm ready for, Brian?
The show to start?
Let's start the show.
Let's start the show. This is PSVR GamesCast Live. We film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Tornado's trying to push my mouse off of the shelf. Oh my goodness. My name is Brian Paul from this channel right here, PSVR Without Parole. And the guy to my right, my partner in crime, it's AJ from the Underground, PSVR Underground.
We're committing crimes now, are we?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, what is up, Brian? What is up, Game Cats? All of you in the chat, I see you. Smoke them all up. GC13, the Diet Pepsi Cat. Imzadi. Happy Friday. Happy end of the week. Hopefully you've had a great week. We got a lot to talk about today, surprisingly. Big recap on the week. I'm excited. Some news. I'm going to prepare you guys, man. You know, usually we're all happy-go-lucky around here. We got some disappointing news today, and I'm not happy about it. But we're going to talk about it. And we're going to still send you off into the weekend with a bang. Woohoo!
Shout out to Endeavor1 who sent me the second best Haru I've ever seen.
Oh, you got that from Endeavor1?
Mm-hmm. You should see what else they sent me. You're going to be real jealous, Beanie Boy.
Oh.
Don't
call me Beanie Boy.
Sorry, Endeavor1, it's Tornado's new plaything. It used to be mine, and now it's hers. I apologize.
Oh, now you have a new sleeping toy, Brian. How nice.
Well, she's got a new sleeping toy, that's for sure. Shout out to Professor Lilith with the $5 tip. Says, this week's 2 p.m. Sunday multiplayer is Wipeout Omega Collection. Don't be like me. Check for updates the day before. October 3rd. Poll now out. Thank you, Professor Lilith, for doing all the multiplayer stuff over on Without Parole. We appreciate you guys. If you're not already part of our Discord, make sure you click the link in the description below and join our Discord so you can get into these multiplayer events that Professor Lilith is running. Dude, Wipeout Omega, so good. Make sure you're part of that. Right?
That's always a jam-packed one.
You can always find me slamming into every other wall, man. Yeah.
Why don't we just skip a step, Endeavor1? Why don't you just send me an actual wolf? I'll take good care of it. I promise. Send me the real Haru.
It sounds like a bad idea all around. Oh, man. All right. Dude, we've got a ton of news to talk about today. Tons and tons of stuff to get into. But, of course, before we start the show, we always want to thank all the people that do all the great things for us, that keep the channel running, people that tip us, people that support us over on patreon.com/withoutparolegames. But, of course, there's a whole other group of people we want to thank, isn't there, AJ?
That is correct, Brian. We would like to thank those who support us in another way by changing their name to something Gamecat related, or something Gamecat adjacent, as you and something Gamecat adjacent like to say. And this week, we have 2 new Gamecats, so welcome to the Gamecat Dojo. I've been playing a lot of games with, like, you know, these Louisiana accents, and now I want to eat some crawfish and tell you a story. But first, we got to welcome serial killer, the peanut butter checks-loving Gamecat.
So I hear he's trying to convince you to try new cereals, and this is what he's doing with his screen name.
I love it. I mean, we had that. When his name popped up in conversation not too long ago, we were asked what our favorite cereal was, and like I was like, I don't eat cereal. Like, I eat oatmeal, I eat a muffin, all this stuff. Since then, because of him, I've got like 4 boxes of cereal like all the time. I've got Reese's Peanut Butter, Reese's Puffs or something they're called. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which is the best. I think Cinnamon Toast Crunch is probably the winner here. I experimented with some other ones, and yeah, got me back on the cereal train. I've also got frosted mini wheats.
Nice.
Which are delicious.
They are.
Yeah.
Dude, I was so disappointed as a kid when Cookie Crisp cereal came out, and they were like, "It's like eating a bowl of cookies for breakfast." And I was like, "Mom, we got it.
Gross.
We got to get this shit right." And as it turns out, it tastes nothing like eating a bowl of cookies for breakfast. Shit's terrible. Oh, who else we got to thank?
Well, real quick, I also want to wish Serial Killer. He's got a procedure coming up, and just want to wish you the best, man. And thank you for supporting us and being such an awesome member of the community, as well as a lot of you. But
Yeah,
you know, good luck with your procedure, man. We'll be thinking about you.
The whole community is here for you.
Absolutely. We've also got Seymour spooky, scary game shrimps. Yes, more shrimps to the collection.
Oh man, I like that people have stopped using the underground and just gone full on shrimp to reference your channel. It's like this is what you've been reduced to, AJ. Just a whole lot of shrimp.
Calhoun's Gate, man. It's not meat. All I did was play Calhoun's Gate, and the shrimp like takes over, man. It takes a hold of you, and yeah, now it's shrimpception everywhere.
It's pretty awesome.
I did. Haven't even seen Candy Love yet, man. They haven't even seen Candy Love yet.
We'll get there, man.
Can you believe that?
Well, we'll get there because I've been doing my countdown to October, daily streams, different horror games every day. I did Resident Evil 7 banned footage volume 1 nightmare mode today for a couple of hours, and oh my god, it was so much fun. One of the best experiences you can get on PlayStation VR. So good. And we're going to need to get Calhoun's Gate into the mix at some point soon. Thank you guys for changing your
stream.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Guys, if you didn't change your name to GameCat yet, you should. If you want to show us that you love us almost as much as we love you, just all you gotta do is put hashtag GameCat in the comments below once you've changed your name, and we'll give you a shout out next Friday's show. Hashtag GameCat. You're the best. We love you so much. AJ, lots of news. We should talk about some news.
Yeah, you know, yesterday was a huge day. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners released the Aftershocks update. We both got to stream it. Yeah, we just want to follow up on a couple things that we didn't mention before that we might have noticed. You know, we had been receiving some questions about, is there a PS5 patch for this? And the easy answer is no. There's definitely no PS5 specific patch for this. Which, you know, kind of sucks because we love this game and we just want it to be like every single thing that can get boosted, be the best possible way. But I did notice some other things, Brian, and I want to run these by you. Number one, it seemed like my biggest complaint when playing Saints and Sinners on the PS5, and I don't know if this was just a natural thing that happened once converted to the SSD, but the pop-in seemed a lot worse once we started playing it on PS5. And I didn't know if it was just maybe because stuff loaded faster, but it was like obnoxious, like popping everywhere. And they obviously did something to improve that. I didn't notice hardly any pop-in when I played through it yesterday.
I saw none. And what AJ is referring to is when a level loads in, it seemed to be it's obviously loading in faster on the PlayStation 5, so the screen would fade in when the level began faster. But that didn't mean that everything actually got loaded in. So the levels got loaded in, but the textures didn't get loaded in fast enough. So you were looking at this really low res the textures were super low res when you stepped into the world. And now it's like the second it fades in, man, everything is there and everything is exactly where it should be, which is great. And I was shocked because I had just played it not that long ago I don't know if it was the Platinum Trophy run or whatever it was. But I did play it on PlayStation 5 not that long ago, and I was like, holy crap, I don't remember these textures taking so long to pop in. So it's nice to see that that's been addressed. Everything seems like it's been optimized a little bit.
Yeah, on top of the new content, which I loved, it was nice to see some just quality of life, LOD improvements, things like that. However, there was something else that I thought for a minute, but I wasn't sure. But I actually saw a conversation taking place on the Reddits, and I wanted to see what you thought about this. Somebody was mentioning that they thought the game had slightly lower resolution than it used to, and The game always looked great to me. It still looked great for the most part yesterday. But there was like a part. I'd be lying if I say there wasn't like a part or two where I like looked and I thought I maybe saw like maybe slightly less resolution, or maybe a part with a little bit of blur that I wasn't used to seeing, like a tiny bit. So I wanted to ask you, did you notice anything like that? Because when I was playing it, I was like, well, I've just been playing it on the Quest 2 and now I'm on PSVR again.
That was my problem too. Was that I had just played all of Aftershocks on the Quest 2, and then going from that to the PSVR version, I was like, wait a minute, it does look different, but now I'm totally thrown off because the Quest 2 version, despite the lower res textures, has a pretty nice overall resolution, so all the edges look pretty sharp. So my thought on this was things looked a bit jaggier. I don't think the game had a lower resolution, but since it seemed like it could be jaggier, my thought was that maybe they did the thing I keep asking developers to do, and that's fucking nix all that super over the top anti-aliasing. And that could be something that was part of the optimization process, being like, well, let's make it look clearer, even if it presents some jaggies. That was my guess, though. I don't think the game's running at a lower resolution. I just think that the edges look a little jaggier because of that.
I noticed maybe a little bit more aliasing or something like that. And so, they obviously had some drastic changes to the game, but overall, I mean, like I said, the pop-in was my biggest complaint on PS5. It still looks great. Don't get me wrong. But I just happened to notice things, and then I saw that conversation, and I was like, yeah, it could be right. So I just wasn't sure if it was just me being crazy or if there actually was something. But it still looks great, and I love that the pop-in is gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bambino Ramos says, I was just playing last week before the update and didn't really notice a difference, but I'm not good at noticing shit like that, honestly. So,
interesting.
Okay. Well,
so your comment doesn't help us at all, Bambino. But thank you so much for participating.
Going somewhere.
Well, but dude, so we don't want to spoil anything, obviously. But I will say that before our conversation, I did not find a use for all the keys. I ran out of time before GAMESCAST on Wednesday, and so I don't want to spoil anything. But it was awesome seeing the secret ending, I suppose, for Aftershocks.
Yes.
And man, like, definitely stick with it till the end. It's really, really cool. I love the tease, and my question for you is, do you think this is a tease for some paid DLC, or do you think this is a tease for like potentially a sequel?
I have
without giving it away, of course.
Yeah, I have no idea, but I'll tell you what. If it's something huge, then I will pay for DLC because, this game is amazing. It's practically perfect, and I will take more of it any way I can get it. If paying for it means I'm going to get something bigger, better, more quality, maybe some new locations, new areas, and stuff like that, I will absolutely, without hesitation, pay for it. I would keep dropping money into this game if they keep expanding upon it in a significant way.
Yeah, this DLC, like I said, at first felt a little bit mundane and then started ramping up and got really, really cool. And if they had been like, hey, Brian, this is a $5 pack of DLC, I'd be like, all right, cool. And I would have been pretty happy with it. So now I do fully expect that whatever comes next will be paid because they've given us more than enough. The Trials was amazing. Yeah. This was amazing. So I'm ready for some paid DLC, or I'm just ready for a sequel. Either way, I'm going to be really happy.
Yeah. They're going to be, I imagine they'll be doing a PSVR 2 like remaster, definitive edition. So, yeah. Like complete, super, like I was saying, GameCat edition, whatever.
Yeah. I expect to see a lot of those things, and I'm really, I think that's just going to flood the PlayStation VR 2 marketplace for the first 6 months or so. It's just like, hey, here's our remaster. It looks beautiful, and you get to use the orbs. Have fun. Like, oh, sweet. Yeah. Hey, real quick, now it's Ryan, the Game Feline, with a $5 tip. Came through with a happy Friday, y'all. Hope this keeps the lights on a little longer. Thank you so much, Niles Ryan. We love you.
Yeah, man. Thank you. So, something else was supposed to come out yesterday, Brian, and last second got delayed, and that is Rhythm of the Universe Ionia. What happened?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know what happened, but the fact is that I got an email about 2 hours after it was supposed to be out from the PR firm saying the game will release in a couple days on PlayStation VR. They didn't even say it was a delay. They said it will release in a couple days. So it got delayed at the absolute last second, man. And
Yeah,
I don't think
crazy.
anyone is totally sure what happened there. It came out on PSVR, and just no idea what happened on the PlayStation side of things.
Yeah, that is super strange. I mean, we've seen a lot of weird delays, a lot of like mishaps and stuff, but um, really weird for a game to be like, as soon as 1 o'clock hits, we get the news. Like as soon as it was supposed to drop,
Yeah.
we get the news that that it's delayed. So, I don't know. I'm still looking forward to checking it out. That was actually supposed to be a big part of our show today. Was our review for it.
It's supposed to be the whole show. So,
Yeah. So it was kind of weird, man. It's been an amazing week though. Like I said, because of Aftershocks and some of the other announcements we've got. It's been an exciting week. But definitely some weird stuff occurring yesterday and today. But yeah, man, I guess we'll just have to wait till next week. Maybe. Hopefully it won't be too long. They said it's only supposed to be a few days.
yeah, they certainly didn't make it seem like it was going to be a really long delay. It seems like review keys are still going out very, very soon. So we'll see, yeah, and we'll keep you posted. Obviously, it's not supposed to be a long game. It's supposed to be under an hour. So I should be able to have a review out shortly after playing it. But we'll keep you posted, you guys. Speaking of weird news, man, we've definitely gotten some weird news. Today was supposed to be a huge, huge day as far as PlayStation VR news is concerned. And the first thing that we saw, one of the biggest things we were hoping for was the Ultrawings 2 reveal, because BitPlanet Studios said, "Hey, we're going to reveal it on Friday," and they certainly did, didn't they?
Man, I have been following this Ultrawings 2 sequel since November of 2019, I
Yeah.
think it was. I want to say, and I've been so excited for it. And then, they've been building up to it. They've been liking my comments and really buttering me up. And then
Buttering you
behold,
up.
today, Ultrawings 2 gets announced today, and it's not going to be on PSVR.
Yeah.
What the hell, guys? Come on, man. That is crap. That is crap, I tell you.
Yeah, this trailer ends with a list of like 4 different headsets, I think, and I think Quest 1 and 2 are both listed.
It's coming out on everything.
Yeah,
But
so
PSVR.
so the fact is that it's more than capable of being able to be developed for PlayStation VR1, being able to be played through the OG PS4. So it's a little confusing. We don't know all the details. We don't know why it's not coming out for PlayStation VR1, but that doesn't seem to be in the cards currently. So the big question is hey, could this potentially be a PlayStation VR2 launch title? And the hope is yes. Why don't you think this is coming to PSVR1? I mean, why? Like, I'm asking you to speculate about why you think the developers decided not to make it for PSVR1.
Because they made a mistake thinking that, maybe they're just trying to target the Quest because they think it's a hotter commodity right now. And admittedly, yeah, I mean, there is probably a bigger chance for success or a chance for more sales on Quest right now when it comes to selling software because there's a more active user base. But there still is an active user base on PSVR. So to me, it's like such a bad decision. I would talk about Saints and Sinners again. Did they just release everything on Quest first? No, they said we want to release everything on all platforms at once. And I think that's the best decision you can do. Like to me, it makes absolutely no sense for them not to release this sequel unless it was like going to financially bankrupt them to release a PSVR version. But guess what, Brian? I don't think it was going to financially bankrupt them.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I think it's a huge mistake on their part, and I wish them the most success. But I wouldn't be surprised if the game just doesn't become a huge hit or anything. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I do hope they have lots of success, but I don't know, man. I think it's a huge mistake to kind of to leave out any platform. If I'm gonna release on a game for VR, I'm gonna release it on as many VR headsets as I can, and I don't think there's any reason they didn't.
Here's my thought process. My thought process on this is rewind to a year ago. And remember the narrative on PlayStation VR and PSVR 2 was that Sony's given up on PlayStation VR. PSVR 2 is not coming out. Like the only people in the world that were saying PSVR 2 is coming, we swear, was us. And the rest of the world was like, fuck Sony, we're jumping the Quest. They don't care about PSVR anymore. And so that was the narrative, man, was that like because PSVR 2 hadn't been announced yet, everybody was jumping ship and being like, well, Sony doesn't give a fuck. Right. We're out of here. And they were mad. People were mad. And so put yourself in the developer's shoes during that same time period when you're, midway through development or you've been working on this game for a while and you're like, wait a minute, what's the landscape going to look like a year from now or 18 months from now when we finally get this game out? If PSVR is dead, and sales figures are probably reflecting that, then we need to focus on the versions that are going to sell some copies. I really think that the narrative on PlayStation VR 1 a year ago was terrible. Was absolutely terrible. And then when PSVR 2 got announced, then Fract was announced, and Arashi was announced, and it turned out that all these cool games that Sony was financing, paying for, they all came around and said, oh shit, Sony's still like going to bat for PlayStation VR 1. And so I think this is a little too late. Like these guys just didn't realize what the future held for PSVR 1, that it did have some life left in it. And I think that they maybe made the wrong move, but that's just my guess. I have no idea behind the scenes.
Well, from what we've seen with other developers, like I said, just because you target those platforms doesn't mean you're going to be successful. And I think your best chances are to target all of them. And like I said, unless it was financially going to just destroy them to make a PSVR version or something, then it's understandable. But I seriously doubt that that's the case. So I get it, though. We faced a similar kind of situation of, hey, we're trying to just cover PSVR, and it was hard.
Yeah.
The end of last year, beginning of this year, it was super hard, but we stuck with it, man, because it's not always about the money. It's about what you put in and what you get out of it, and I think that I don't know I think that there are, yes, it's a slow time for PSVR right now in terms of sales, and yes, like financially, what they're doing is a practical thing, but especially if they want to be releasing stuff on PSVR 2, they want to have a good repertoire with Sony, and doing this is not certainly going to help anything.
I can understand that. I just think development is so long and so expensive that you got to make certain predictions. And I think in this case, they just predicted incorrectly, which sucks. Yep. Real quick, Hugh Guyver with the Australian $5 says, looking forward to playing Song in the Smoke. When is it released? Yeah. PSVR with that full fire. Thank you, Hugh Guyver. We love you and Cousin Mac so very much. Dude, we should be getting a release date for Song in the Smoke any day now, because it's basically been delayed till just the first couple weeks of October, it seems like. We'll keep you updated on that as soon as we know.
We have a super exciting month coming up. I mean, this month is going to end with a bang. We got Aftershocks, which was amazing, and then we're going to get the Synth Riders Muse Pack, which is pretty cool. And then October, guys. Oh my God, next month is going to be ridiculous. We've got Bubble Bobble or Puzzle Bobble 3D, which is just maybe not for everyone, but still looks pretty cool. It's a high-profile game. And then we have Wraith the Oblivion Afterlife, which is going to be a great October game. We might get Zombieland Headshot Fever, which I think we will. Otherwise, I don't know what they're doing, like what they're waiting for. If they don't hit October, it's like, wow. Like, it'd be such a weird time to release it any other time around besides that. But then, yeah, Song in the Smoke we had the original release date of September 18th, and then they said that was not finalized. It was a little bit of a messy situation, and they said it was going to be delayed, but only by a few weeks. So that puts us probably somewhere in the middle to late October for Song in the Smoke. Potentially huge game for us. Super awesome survival looking game. And I share your hype, Hugh Guyver. Shout out to your cousin Mac, because I am super excited for Song in the Smoke. I really like the team that has designed this game, and I like their history in the games industry and what their overall attitude is. And that's another potential Skydance Interactive right there.
Yeah, my interview with Jake Kasdal was so enlightening. If you missed that somehow, make sure you check it out on the channel. It was one of the last interviews I did. He was just so enthusiastic about gaming, and he really felt like he really seems like he had a good had his finger on the pulse of what VR gamers were interested in. So very excited for that. It should be out soon. Something else that should have been announced today was the Zero Caliber plans for PlayStation VR, which we were super excited for. We said, today was going to be an amazing day between the reveal of Ultrawings 2 and the PSVR announcement of whatever's next for Zero Caliber on PSVR. And nothing happened.
Well, this one isn't as disappointing as the Ultrawings 2. That crushed me. They just said today they announced some other update that came to the game, and then they said, sorry, hashtag PSVR and hashtag PCVR and crowd. You have to wait a bit longer for those announcements, and by longer, I mean until Monday. And then he goes on to specify and says, if it's not out by Monday, y'all could get the pitchforks and come after me. At Whale Etlin.
Oh, I love the responses to this tweet. Everyone's showing gifs of people sharpening swords and stuff. I love it, man. Yes. We're like, dude, we almost don't want you to announce it Monday so we can come at you. It was some hilarious responses. I loved it.
Yes, I mean, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it's just a delay about exciting news. I really, really, really need to know what's going on with this game on PlayStation VR, and we just have to be patient. We should know Monday, and I'm very, very excited for that.
As long as they say, hey, this is the game, it's coming out, and it's going to be this price, it's coming out on this date, maybe another October release, who knows? Yeah. And I'll be happy.
The only way this could go poorly is if they said, here's your PSVR announcement. It's canceled. It's like, oh, motherfucker. That's not what we were hoping for.
I mean, yeah, they've been definitely the reason a lot of people are frustrated, and the reason they even know, damn it, we screwed this one up again, is because they've been saying PSVR news coming soon, for years now. And so, it's just after so long, sometimes they've actually delivered a little bit of news, but it's never been anything super significant. And so, yeah.
All right.
Can't say I'm disappointed about this. I definitely roll my eyes really hard at this, but this isn't upsetting or disappointing or anything.
Yeah, I mean, we waited a year for an update on this, and they said it's coming Friday, and then they're like, it's coming Monday. It was like, well, wait a minute, what are you really? The trailer wasn't ready. What was it? You literally waited a year to give us an update, and then the update's getting delayed by 3 days. It's like, all right, whatever. So, Just Incredible with the $5 tip says, I need that bong in the smoke. Song in the smoke. Too excited for this game. The hype reminds me of the olden days of early PSVR. Yeah, big time, man. I totally agree with you, Justin.
Just incredible. Dude.
Good seeing you.
Missed you, brother.
I mean,
give me a hug.
I didn't miss you.
I missed him greatly.
Okay, good. Well, I did not miss you. I don't want to make it sound like, oh, fuck that Just Incredible guy, but, whatever. I just can't wait till we're all playing on the same platform again when PSVR 2 comes out. We're all going to be unified. We're all going to be hey, I remember that guy. Right? Okay. And we got Mad Max, the Hell Sweeper VR Gamecat with the $5 tip says, guys, maybe Sony didn't pick them up for the sequel. We have no titles next year, so maybe Sony just aren't picking up any new contracts for PSVR. Pizza. It's not really how it works in terms of third-party games. If most third-party games are allowed on the PlayStation Store, and it's not Sony going, "Hey, we're going to pay you to do this," especially for a game like this where it's coming to all sorts of different platforms. So, but I do agree with you that there is something fishy about there not being any titles revealed for next year, which is sort of a good transition, I think, into a topic that I wanted to talk about just briefly, and that's how long PSVR1 can survive. We were super hopeful that we were going to get PSVR2 earlier next year. COVID kind of came into play. The PlayStation 5 shortages came into play. A lot of things came into play, and I think a lot of those things kept PSVR2 from coming out as soon as they wanted it to. And now the general thought is that PSVR2 will be out holiday 2022, which is over a year from now. We could potentially see this thing coming out on the 6th birthday of PlayStation VR1. And so I guess the question is sort of, where are we? Like, where are we right now? Are there enough games in the pipeline? I don't know where AJ is. I know where Tornado is. Are there enough games in the pipeline to kind of keep us satiated until PSVR2 comes around? What do you think about that, AJ?
It's weird because I expected definitely this holiday, but then, of course, the pandemic hit. And I said, okay, I could see everything being pushed back an entire year. And, that's been the thing. Yesterday, 2 days ago, I think it was the first time since the launch of PS5 that they were sold in stores, Brian. Best Buy had their first sales, I think it was PS5 and Xboxes were the first times they had units to sell in the store, and places were backed up everywhere. And I actually had people jumping in my stream saying, "Hey, I got a PS5. I went to Best Buy and stood in line for like hours and got one." And I was like, "God damn, I didn't think I'd like miss hearing that like ever." So it's pretty awesome. That's like something we needed to happen. That's something I thought needed to happen back in the summer, beginning of summer, something that would happen, I should say. So it's been a little bit more tricky than what we thought was going to happen. But, what I can tell you, Brian, is that we have kind of a roadmap, sort of a loose roadmap for the end of this year. And it's looking great for the rest of this year with releases. But after that, man, I don't know. We don't have a single game that has a 2022 release date for PSVR 1.
Yeah.
It stops.
Well, now, first things first. As you said, we've got a pretty good roadmap for the rest of this year. Obviously, Ionia is just about out. It's going to be out any day now. Down and Out, Gravitational, Song in the Smoke. These are all games that should be out really soon. We got Reggie Strange's RC Airplane Challenge coming out soon. Dash Dash World keeps getting delayed to the next quarter every single quarter. But I mean, eventually that's going to come out. They're going to be launching big time when they hit PlayStation VR. It's going to be 15 tracks, which is insane. Windlands 2 was supposed to be out by the end of summer. And now that summer is over, it should be any day now. Republic VR is supposed to be soon. Puzzle Bobble is coming. Wraith, Do Not Open, as you mentioned.
Say Moss Book 2, man.
Moss Book 2. See, I actually think Moss Book 2 could potentially slip into next year, and I think that would be one of those great, bigger titles that would fill in the gap. In knowing that it's going to launch on PSVR first, and that's going to be kind of nice. And I think that's something that, we look at next year and go, man, we don't know what's happening next year. But last year around this time, we didn't know half of the awesome games that we got this year.
No.
Right? It took till the beginning of the year for them to talk about Hitman. And then eventually they talked about Doom 3, and then they talked about Fracked. And we didn't know about Song in the Smoke this time last year. And we didn't know about Arashi this time last year. So we sort of didn't get a lot of notice for those games, a few months, 6 months, whatever. And so it's totally possible that 2022 will look very similar to 2021. We'll get a lot of surprise new IPs that Sony paid for, some timed exclusives, some permanent exclusives. What the hell's the fucking What's the term I'm looking for? But and so there's still a lot of possibilities for PlayStation VR1 if next year turns out anything like this year.
Yeah, it's true. Like, I think by the end of last year, the only thing we knew about was Hitman, and then we were like, "What the hell's gonna happen?" Like, we kind of finding ourselves in that position again. We're like, "What the hell's gonna? What are we gonna do
Yeah.
after Hitman?" And then it was like, boom, all these games. I mean, an entire, not only some games, but like a stacked year ended up, at least from the beginning of summer. So I imagine there'll be some delays. Some games will probably get pushed into 2022. I think a lot of next year too is going to be focused on the build-up for PSVR 2, because I think I've got kind of an idea of what they're going for with the next gen headset, and I think that they're trying to go big with it. And in order to do that, they
Chat's great.
they they I think are going to go really really big with it, and that's why it's going to take till the end of holiday, or till holiday of next year, because I think it's going to be huge. Like these AAA games that we are thinking something along the lines of like Gran Turismo, Resident Evil 8, Horizon VR, and some other stuff. And I think it's going to be ginormous. And they need time to set all that up, to get the software set up. They said that they're building a whole new system for it. So like 2022 is going to be super exciting for the buildup of PSVR 2,
right?
Because we're going to hear more and more and more. But as for PSVR 1, it's a huge question mark. Maybe they just still continue to do what they're doing right now and just pumping out some games for it. But to me, I feel a little like my concern is developers, what that does for developers. My concern is about developers that want to release on the platform, but potentially won't be able to get the sales that they want, or something like maybe what happened with the Ultrawings too, and these indie devs don't want to bring their game to PSVR anymore because they just don't think it's worth the return of investment. So that's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about PSVR 2 because I think that's going to be huge. But,
yeah, we shouldn't be worried at all about PSVR 2. It's gonna change VR forever, which we'll talk more about in a second. But yeah, no. But as far as PSVR 1's concerned, I mean, like real quick, ready? Wanderer, After the Fall, Yuki, Baby Hands, Space Team VR, Stride, Powder, Puzzling Places, Humanity, Blunt Force, RU-77, Captain Toonhead, Desolation, Dimension Hunter 1 and 2, Distortion VR, Zero Caliber, Hinge, Elysia, Zenith, Loco Dojo, Nyx, Space Team VR. I think I already said Space Team VR. Undead Citadel still happening, you guys. Don't forget that. Ben VR Adventure, and of course, there's going to be DLC for games that we already own. That hasn't even been announced yet, like new Beat Saber DLC, the multiplayer update. I'm sure will come to PlayStation VR within the next year.
The updates are going to be a huge part.
Potentially Saints and Sinners DLC. I mean, like, this is all stuff that's confuse the Gamecast. Don't forget Gorn. Gorn's still going to come out. So there's a lot of games, and even if we only get like one of those a week, man, at best, like then it's enough. Oh, Samurai Slaughterhouse, which is actually Braxpro is going to be a PSVR 2 game. So we got a lot of games on the way. We got a lot to keep us entertained. And that's just stuff we know about. We didn't know about that many games last year at this time. I really think that Sony's got some aces up their sleeve. Another Fract type game from a studio that knows what they're doing. I think we could see a lot of stuff, man. So I think we're okay, even though it's still a little bit of a stressful situation. We're like, what about our headset? I think we're going to be fine.
Yeah. I just want Sony to like get their shit together a little faster, and you know, I don't know, stop like kind of waiting so long, dragging their feet. And like, I understand they have some priorities. They're doing the right thing technically. As much as it makes me angry, they are making the right moves and waiting, making sure everyone has PS5s, making sure they can at least get PS5s in stores. That is the correct move to do. Otherwise, you're going to really cause issues if you try to go too early with the PSVR 2. but it's like this really weird situation that we're in because it's like so many of us are ready for it. So many people are ready for
Yeah.
it. But then I think there's a larger amount of people that aren't as well. But it's getting closer. So if we have the build up to PSVR 2 and we have some steady releases of games, but I feel bad for any I hate to say it, but I'm concerned about the ability to actually sell games well on PSVR in the future. I know that they can sell, but enough is what I don't know yet. I don't know if they can sell enough, what they need to be, what they deserve to be selling, which is a lot more.
It's true. It's very true. All right, man. Headline story, man. Headline news story comes to us from Camoflaj. They've
It does.
staffing up.
Camoflaj, yes, Camoflaj, developers of Iron Man VR and Republic, which we were just mentioning, they are hiring for different positions, and they say here, gameplay engineer is one of the listings, and it says Camoflaj, the award-winning studio behind Republic and Marvel's Iron Man VR, is expanding our team as we build a brand new AAA game. We are looking for a gameplay engineer who's focused and collaborative to join our studio. As a gameplay engineer, you will design and implement unique player, blah, 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 blah. Camoflaj is hiring for a brand new AAA game, Brian, and it's most likely VR. I have two questions for you. A, do you think it is a potential sequel for Iron Man? And B, do you think it's for PSVR 1 or PSVR 2?
I'll take the second part first, Chuck, and I'm going to say PSVR 2, hands down. I think PSVR, like, there's no way they're staffing up for their next game, which I'm sure is already well into development. There's no way they're looking at this and saying, oh yeah, it's going to be out even in the next, it'd probably be almost 2 years from now. And so I think at this point, if you're a big studio or like a big team trying to be a AAA studio, you're not looking at anything. You're not looking at PSVR 1. So I would say PSVR 2, definitely. I would say that they've got a good relationship with Sony, and that they've got a good relationship with Marvel, and everybody was happy with the sales of Iron Man. It definitely hit the sales charts, into the top 10. It definitely it was a packing game, so I think everybody from top to bottom was happy with the sales of that game, and I think they'd like to take another stab at it and make something that's a little bit more seamless, a little bit more fluid, something that something that used the orbs. Imagine using the orbs as Iron Man. I do think that this is probably Iron Man 2. What do you think?
You do.
I do, actually, yeah.
I think that would be awesome if they learned from the first one, because I felt like they did a lot of things right with the first one. I loved the storytelling. I loved the story in it, and the characters. I actually thought they were really well done, really memorable, and I loved flying around and shooting and using all the gadgets on the suit. But there were also some things that kind of rubbed me the wrong way in terms of playing it a little too safe, or some stuff that we just don't like to see in VR, where it's teleport only through the mansion. You can't really interact with a ton of stuff in it. Lots of loading screens, and when you kind of breaking up the action scenes with these loading screens, instead of just all of it kind of being seamless. So, but they definitely nailed a lot of the core stuff that made the game pretty awesome, in my opinion. And if they expand on their team, which is what they're trying to do here, and improve upon a lot of things, yeah, they had something pretty special there for being a small team. They really did a lot of right. And Iron Man 2.
It's funny, just to cut you off for a second. It's funny you say if they learn from their mistakes, and there's so inside baseball, which AJ hates, but I fucking love. There was a second interview I did with Ryan Payton that never got aired, and it didn't get aired because it was so negative. Like we just couldn't. We at no point did we get to the positives about the game and the things that we loved about the game. We spent a half an hour just basically like being all depressed, which is like not like wasn't my intention. I mean, the point of interviewing Ryan Payton after launch was to like get to the root of like why did some things happen, but it wasn't to be like, oh man, this game sucks, which is how the whole tone of the interview felt. And so it never got aired because I was like, this is not what I want to portray about Iron Man, and we didn't quite get to the root of any of the problems anyway. So it wasn't like a great expose piece either. So, and so, but he, one of the things, or some of the things he told me during that interview was, sometimes you realize things too late. Sometimes it's too late into development to go back and like rework everything. And so it was very, very obvious from that conversation. I mean, everything from the loading times to the teleportation to everything. It seems like throughout the course of development, they were learning and going, man, if we had the time and the resources and the manpower, we would absolutely go back and change all of this and like fucking strip the game down to its core and then rebuild it, because it sounds like they wanted to do that a couple times. These guys know what kind of game they made, and I think they were proud of it.
They should be.
Yeah. And I absolutely, we scored it well. I think 8.3, which is a decent score for a decent game. And they should be proud of it. But at the same time, one of my favorite quotes from Ryan Payton was, I started Camoflaj not to be an indie studio, but to be the next greatest AAA independent studio in the world. That was from our first interview. And I think that he is going to make good on the Iron Man name, on the PlayStation VR headset, PSVR 2 likely, and really show everybody what Camoflaj is capable of. So that is my hope for this hiring.
Lots of potential.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of potential. And Ryan, if you're listening, if you ever need some advice on gameplay design, hit me up. I'll do it for free. Oh man, but yeah, I would love a sequel to Iron Man, and just take out all the things, like I said, the little mistakes in the design that were things you would expect from a game that was a flat game converted to VR, not a built from the ground up VR game. Those that felt kind of stitched together in some places because, like I said, lots of potential. But
Lethal Weasel VR in the chat says Iron Man VR is the best superhero game in VR. Period. There really isn't a close second. I really think I do think some of the flaws get in the way of people really appreciating this game. The controls are amazing. The combat's amazing. The story's great. Sometimes it's not told in the best way possible, but yeah, it's really good stuff.
I like a lot about that game for sure. It was a lot of people's game of the year last year.
Yeah, and I am keeping an eye on the chat. A lot of people have great ideas about what their next game should be, and I think my favorite's Ant-Man VR. Imagine growing and shrinking in first person. Just really, really good suggestions.
I like Mick Cole saying Blade VR. Let's do this.
Go.
Blade, baby.
I want a Chronicle VR game. Remember Chronicle? Like
really.
A bunch of kids that got superhero powers. Oh, it's so good. Great. Probably my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I just want to be a normal dude. Oh, it's like kind of like Infamous, I guess. But I want to be a normal dude who gets superpowers and like kind of feel like myself who got superpowers while playing the game. Anyway, moving on.
He is Halloween Man.
Right.
All right, so we are going to kick it over to some viewer takeover questions. Guys, thank you so much. You can always make sure you join our Discord. If you're in our Discord, find that viewer takeover tab and leave a hashtag viewer takeover and ask us a question, and we will make it part of the show and let you take over. Brian.
Today's viewer takeover question comes to us from Confuse a Gamecat. He writes hashtag viewer takeover. You said not long ago that Without Parole has somewhat become part of the gaming industry, which is testament to your success as a channel. What's the longest you guys have known about things PSVR related that you couldn't talk about that has been released? Does knowing things early ruin your hype level at all? And was there any point where you have said, I wish I didn't know about that to experience the hype real time? It's a lot of questions all rolled up in one. What do you think, man? You want to kick this off?
There's definitely been some stuff that we've known way in advance that I wouldn't say it ruined the hype. There's I think, but there's the he's asked what's the thing you've known about the longest. I knew the release date for Saints and Sinners like a month or two or something, like months in advance, and I couldn't say anything because they embargoed me. And that was torture because we kept saying, if you remember every single week, people were asking, when's Saints and Sinners coming out? When's Gorn coming out? And like, we got that every single day. That was like 50% of the comments. And so we were like, guys, every time there was like speculation, we were like, guys, this is not it. We will tell you. We like promised everybody, we will tell you when Saints and Sinners is coming out as soon as we know. And then they told us, and then they embargoed us, and we couldn't say it. And I was like, damn it. So that was probably one of the ones that I knew about longest that I couldn't say anything.
Yeah, generally the things that we know are not terribly long. It's usually about a week or so ahead of time, saying, hey, guys, release date for this game is approaching. It's going to be this. Please don't tell anybody. Here's a key for the game. Go play it. Have fun, but please don't publish anything until this day. Okay. And that's pretty frequent. That's like every other week is something along those lines. And that's just part of it. There are... As like PSVR 2, I think is probably the shit that I'm gonna end up sitting on the most, and for the longest, because it feels like almost daily I'm learning more about PlayStation VR 2 and not able to talk about it from so many different sources and all extremely credible. So it's gonna be a long time between now and the launch. And just have to be like, fucking man, we have to fucking wait, man. Can't say shit. But it's all exciting news. I'll tell you that. There is a part of me to answer the rest of his question that it says, do I ever wish I didn't know something so that the excitement would be higher? When you turn your hobby into like a career,
yeah,
it kind of kills some of the excitement of the hobby
already,
right?
Yes,
it was like,
know.
And so it's not one specific example of anything. It's more like I wish I could just play games when they come out and just have fun and not have to worry about reviewing it or covering a breaking news report or or live streaming it. Obviously, I love that we have an amazing community that wants to see these things, that cares about our opinions on them. But sometimes I just want to be a gamer again and just be like, oh, this game came out today, sweet, let me download it and fucking play it. And oh, this is so great. Like, it's just there's that certain level of excitement that just drops when it's like becomes a job. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. But yeah, it's sort of, to answer your question, sort of everything. I wish I could get the hype level for back again. So
yeah, I still get really excited about stuff, and I still, I don't have as many scheduled shows as you, so I don't have as many obligations to keep up with. But my position right now is, aside from doing this 3 times a week and then Saturday streams, it's pretty spontaneous. It's pretty reactive, or just a lot of times what you see on the channel is what I do in my free time. I'm always trying to think of creative ways to make new content that's fresh. And, I just released this Dreams video called The Free Climber, where and that's kind of some of the stuff I do is I go but yeah, the time is definitely, there's not a lot of spare time, which is why your guys' support goes so far, because it's like any free time I have, I'm still trying to come up with find some cool things that are going on in PSVR land. But yeah,
absolutely. All right, listen, we got a tip from Gatorade 23, the H2O despising Gamecat, $10 tip, says, I think Farpoint was a little underrated. I think Farpoint 2 will be a PSVR 2 release with a new aim controller. Whew, that's a massive speculation, and I love it. I really, really hope that that Impulse Gear is on board with PlayStation VR 2. It seems like they really took a strange turn with Larcenauts. But again, I highly doubt that Larcenauts is the game that this studio that's been growing and growing and growing, who made the amazing Farpoint, that this is where all of their efforts have gone. So I really hope that you're right, Gatorade 23. Absolutely.
Farpoint is underrated, but that's why.
Is it? I don't know anybody who doesn't like it, except for me. And I only make fun of it just to piss people off because I love that game.
Did you just say, I was gonna say, did you just say you don't like Farpoint?
Yeah, I just make fun of it constantly.
I think Farpoint,
compared to a real
luckily
first-person
Farpoint
shooter.
has this like cult classic fan base to it that like won't ever give up because they like have seen how ahead of its time it was in so many ways. So yeah, we are the chosen ones, and we will spread the good word of the Farpoint. I hope there is a Farpoint 2. I'm not hopeful though.
I just feel like even if it's not called Farpoint 2, whatever they release on PSVR 2 will be a spiritual successor, even if it's not an actual sequel. It could be tough. It could be tough saying, hey, here's Farpoint 2, and half the people on PlayStation VR 2 are like, oh, I don't know what the fuck Farpoint 1 is. Unless, of course, it gets remastered, which we think that a lot of games will. So Farpoint could be remastered as a PlayStation VR 2 title, get a new lease on life, maybe a proper PvP mode instead of the 1v1. I think it could be an awesome team-based thing. But
so much potential.
I was just looking in the chat. I was like, "Who wrote Because Starship Troopers?" I was like, "Oh, you did. That's great."
I love Starship Troopers, and Farpoint was like that was the first thing that I connected with. But anyways, Brian, that leads us to the final segment of the show, which is PSVR 20 questions, and I will be hosting. And don't think for 1 second I forgot about you mentioning Arc Park, and
I hope it's something as easy as Arc Park. Yes, I do.
No, it's actually I didn't go too hard on you. I was like, should I throw Bugs Box VR at him? But I was like, nobody would ever guess that.
Yep.
I decided to leave out stuff like too ridiculous, like Bugs Box and a couple other ones. I don't think I'll ever throw those at you, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, like there are certain games in the PSVR catalog that like I played for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. Bugs Box was one of those games. And some I reviewed and some I didn't. Obviously, yeah, it's just it's one of those where it's like once I'm done with it, like I've never thought about it ever again. And like there's probably like 30 games on the PlayStation Store that like you could pick that I will never ever get ever.
Yeah, I can't stoop that low.
We had some people working behind the scenes for us though, creating lists of games we've already covered on PlayStation or PSVR 20 questions. Do you know who that was on
I think it was Orseek, right?
Or Seek did a spreadsheet, and then somebody just in Ask Brian did one. I think it was Kramer 3K. Just made a list right there, so we can always reference the ones we've already done before picking one. Anyway, guys, 20 questions, 20 yes or no questions. Hopefully everybody in the chat will help me out. We have 20 yes or no questions to figure out what PSVR game AJ is thinking of. I'm going to put 6 minutes on the clock right now. Let's do it. Does it have aim support?
No, aim support.
Okay. Is it a horror game?
Is not a horror game.
I don't like this already. I'm already out of my element. Let's see. Would it be considered a puzzle game?
No, it would not be considered a puzzle game.
Okay. Emily Baxter, I'm going to go with her question. Is it a cartoony piece of shit? Is it cartoony? We can ignore the piece of shit part.
That's a tough one. I mean, it's kind of cartoony, yeah. It's kind of cartoony.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay. Let's see here. LUR's history. I'm going to use the chat for a lot of this. He asked if it's a shooting game. So let's say, is the primary thing you're doing in this game shooting?
It is not primarily a shooting game, no.
Okay. Good one, Bambino. Do you drive any vehicles?
You do not drive any vehicles.
No vehicles. Okay. Let's see. Do you play as a human?
You do play as a human.
All right. Okay.
All you are is history of the game shrimp says it. The POS part is vital.
That's hilarious. Do you have an inventory system in this game?
There is an inventory system in this game.
Okay. That helps out. So many PSVR games don't. I like this. Okay, hold on. Jazzy J, the Tarot Mage Gamecat says, "Are there zombies, dinosaurs, or robots in this game?"
uh, shit.
Any of the three, you have to say yes.
Zombies, dinosaurs, or what? Robots?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to help you. Yes, there is one of those, but it's not going to help you.
Okay.
At all.
Okay, we're gonna guess robots on that. Yeah, we don't even know the genre here, so we know that
you're on 10. This is your 10th question.
Okay. Is it a rhythm game?
Is not a rhythm game.
Okay. Is it sci-fi themed?
Is not sci-fi themed.
Is it fantasy themed?
Is not fantasy themed.
This is not going well, guys.
I told you it's a hard one.
Yeah. Dan Kiefer, I like the question. Does it suck?
It does not suck. I love this game.
Wow. Okay.
Let me see which one.
Ref.
9, 10, 11,
Okay, so
12,
it's
13.
a good
Question
game.
Number 14.
It's a good game with an inventory system where you play as a human, and it's kind of cartoony. We already had Borderlands 2 very recently. Winds in the Leaves is a good one. Can you climb in this game? Can you climb in this game?
I'm gonna say no. You can't climb in this game.
All right, no climbing. So that eliminates quite a few games. All the good ones, they're all gone. Ooh, yeah. Is it multiplayer?
Is not multiplayer.
Uh-oh.
That was question number 15.
We're in trouble, guys. We're in big trouble. Big trouble. Hold on. A little cartoony, possibly. He plays a human. Inventory system. It's a good game. This is killing me. This is killing me. Hollywood's history thinks you're making it up. Oh man, with only a minute and a half, not even a minute and a half left. It's not a puzzle game, guys.
4 questions and a guess.
Yep. Is there any stealth mechanics in this game?
I'm gonna say no. There's no stealth mechanics in this game.
Okay. Let's. Does it support the moves?
It does support the moves.
Okay. We're in big trouble. Big trouble. Because if it
We're
didn't,
on question number 18.
it would help us. Oh, Flame Hat. Is it on the top 25 list?
It's not on the top 25
Oh,
list, but
no.
it should
We got to
be.
guess. We got to guess now. This is it, right? This is the last one?
No, yeah, this is 19.
Okay.
You get one more question and a guess.
Is it a sports game? Is it any kind of
It's
sport?
not
No, any kind of
a
sporting
sport
event?
game.
No. Oh, guys, we need to guess, and only 15 seconds left. Cartini, human, inventory. It's a good game.
Cartoony and play as a human. Guess.
I know. Is it Job Simulator?
It is not Job Simulator. It is Hotel R&R, baby.
Oh.
Woo!
That's a really
Which
good
I would
one.
classify. I love Hotel R&R. I think it's an amazing game.
Yeah.
I really think it could be a top 25 VR game. I don't know. And you want to talk about underrated games? I think Hotel R&R is super, super underrated, and it is absolutely fantastic. I'd classify it as maybe a survival game. Like that's a tough one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking through all the questions, and I'm wondering what question could have gotten me there, and I have no idea. It's insane.
Yeah, That's a tough one. That's
Yeah.
a tough one.
It's a tough one, but that was a good one. I feel like I should have been able to get that. Really, really, really fun game. We love that one a lot. Hopefully that could use some DLC. But
OtterX. Yeah, OtterX said I picked it up. It's a ton of fun. I know. It's super fun. Super fun. Thank
All right, you guys.
It tries.
That's going to do it for another episode of PSVR Gamescast Live. Me and Haru and AJ saying goodbye. Thank you so much to everybody who hung out in the chat. Thank you to everybody who donated. Thank you, of course, to Miles Dyer. Thank you to Jay Meow. Thank you to all of our loyal moderators and, of course, Sci-Fi Gamecat Henry. Guys, thank you to everybody who sat back. Watch the show. Didn't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there, and we love you so very much. I think it's time to cue the cat.
Cue the cat, Brian, and have a wonderful weekend, everybody. I will see you tomorrow night on Saturday Night Live Streams as it returns to I Am Aiden Smith. My theory is that Iron Man 2 will have the Guardians of the Galaxy in it because there's going to be Dead Ringer. Shout out to you and the juniors. Thank you. Happy Friday to you as well. You guys have a great night. Brax Bro, LC2552 beats the musical Gamecat. Serial Killer, the Peanut Butter Checks Loving Gamecat. Thank you so much, man. Blue Judy Underground Gamecat Elite Name Squad in the house. Thank you so much. Ben Dawson, Guy Son Fist Bump to you. George Star 004 or 44. Love you too, man. Thank you. Nihilist Ryan, the Game Feline. Ooh, Death Metal. Just incredible. My man. So good to see you. I missed you. Give me a hug, but I want to give you a hug. Flame Hat, Game Cat, and Devil One in the house tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out. Johnny No Pockets, aka the Who Dat Game Cat. Oh, and Devil One, I need to go check my mail. If he got that from you guys, I need to go check my mail right after the show.
Oh, we're so setting you up for disappointment.
Was that your own little wolf thing?
I have no idea. Man.
Okay.
I don't make the rules. I don't send shit out to anybody.
All right. Well, I don't know. Justin Cassidy says Wipeout Sunday. Yes, that's always a jam-packed multiplayer event for us. So make sure you join the Discord, join the multiplayer sessions. It's a lot of fun. Wipeout is also amazing. Zombie 5150. Congrats on your PS5 that you got in person. Hell yeah. And I hope to see that happen more. Hugh Guyver, good to see you. Shout out to your cousin Mac. And also in G's, Pipio Kojima, the Silent Hill Game Cat. Thank you so much. Teddy Tater Tots 22. Peace out to you, homie. Reth is a game cat that sleeps all day. Henry is snuggled up with his new PS5. I don't know what that means, but okay. Also, No Man's Sky is awesome, you guys. On PS5, No Man's Sky is awesome. Thank you guys for handling that question earlier for us. But yes, all you are is history of the game shrimp. Later to you, Mick Coles, Tartar, Jazzy J, the Terror Mage Game Cat, Bambino Ramos. Good night, sir. Gecko Man 11, the Game Cat. That's another one. He says, adios. You guys have a wonderful night. We will see you later. Emily Baxter, hashtag the Game Kitten, and Twitcher, the single player Game Cat.
Guys, everybody, join Discord. Come hang out. We'll have a good time. We'll shoot the shit in voice chat. Let's hang out a little bit. And of course, if you don't already subscribe to AJ over at PSVR Underground, make sure that you fucking do, because he's doing awesome work over there. Live streams, videos, all sorts of fun stuff every Saturday. Viewer's choice. AJ, what do you say? Let's get out of here. See you on Discord.
Let's go. Let's tango boogie.
Happy weekend, everybody.